M26 and a 7.7 against the Russians? This ain't gonna end well. Well, I can die happy. Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies. Did you miss me? I've been really busy lately. And so, sorry if I haven't been uploading very much lately. I've been trying to cut back and make some more quality content, but I ended up just cutting back. I've been busy with real life stuff, I suppose, and with the 3-day weekend here in America, today being Memorial Day, lest we forget. Oh, I've been spending some quality time with my wife and the tank toddler, and I've been doing a little bit of real life work, which is always good for me, but bad for my back. I feel like such an old man. Anyway, speaking of feeling like an old man, being behind the times, as it were, the M26T99. This tank was never meta, but it's always been interesting, and you know what? When you do get a kill with the rockets, it feels pretty good. A few things have changed about the meta of War Thunder, especially at the 6.777 battle rating range, to where the M26T99 is not terribly uncompetitive. It has a few things that it can really shine with. The 90mm cannon is still fantastic. Unfortunately, it does not get the Heat FS round, so with your APHE, that's going to be what you rely on, because high velocity armor piercing is high velocity armor piercing. I need say no more. It's a joke. It's a meme round. However, this tank has been a lot of fun for me to play, surprising both yourself and myself as well. As you can tell, I made a slick custom camo for this. It's a Street Fighter theme, and I've got a couple of live videos where I'm making the camo, and obviously I worked out the issues I was having when I made it. Interesting issues. It was sort of a, I think it was a bug with the custom camo template creator or something. I've noticed a few inconsistencies in certain aspects of War Thunder's performance. Oh, you knew about that? You knew that it's programmed by monkeys but 3D modeled by the gods themselves? I guess that's not news to anyone. But the news in this video, if you take nothing else away from it, is the M26T99 is actually fun. And as always, the Sherman Calliope is a blast. It's a barrel full of giggles in an M4 chassis. It really is a lot of fun. I've had nothing but just memes and lols in that tank. I highly recommend any one of you pick up the Sherman Calliope. If you're past the stage where you're looking for a good grinder and you're just looking for tanks to have fun in, maybe I can do that in the next vehicles that are still fun episode. I really want to crank out one of those as well, because I got some good footage lined up, and you guys have been sending me awesome replays, and I've taken a look at a good half of them, and there's still more, and I just gotta get on making videos, guys. But to talk more once again about the T26 M26 T99, you guys gotta help me. This thing's got an awkward naming scheme. This tank is a standard M26 with a whole bunch of bazooka rockets strapped to the side, and if you think that that's a ton of fun, you're sorta right, and you're sort of, well, don't expect too much. So M26 is a good tank at 6.3, but at 6.7 it really starts to show its age, and because of your higher battle rating, you're going to be in 7-7 matches fairly frequently, which is actually not as bad as it might sound. A fair half of the vehicles you'll encounter don't have the kind of armor you're used to seeing up to this point. especially as things continue to bulk up more and more on the Soviet and German side up to 6.7, and then you start seeing a lot more of the lightly armored vehicles, like the PT-76, the type whatever it is, insane autoloader Soviet bias machine made out of tissue paper, and rockets can do some serious damage against that. The 90mm cannon has no problem punching through, although you're going to get an overpen most of the time. Did I already show you the kill of that Object 906? I think I did. The rockets can really fill in against those lightly skinned vehicles, so that's nice is what I'm saying. However, as a flanker, the M26 is slow, so you're not going to be the first to see action, but you can sort of be like a spider. You find a good spot, you build your web of intelligence, and you engage enemies when they're not focusing on you. This is not by any means a tank that can perform in the sort of top tier aggressive meta, but if you do get a shot on side armor with the 90mm gun on this thing, you're gonna have some serious effect. So this tank is actually fairly decent. I don't know what my kill death ratio is in it, because I just kind of focus on the fun, you know what I'm saying? I'm past the point where I care about grinding for things. When I unlock a new tank, I unlock a new tank. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta look past that. And I'm past the point where, I mean, I never tried to be competitive at this game. When I try hard, I just get really uptight and I stop having fun. So I just look to try and do the best that I can do and have fun at the same time. And this match that I'm showing you here, on a map that's not all that popular, actually ended up being a fairly good showcase of how I play the M26. I pick a route that is gonna line me up with side shots on the enemy and hopefully give me a concealed position from which to ambush enemy tanks, and then I see what I can do. I will let my teammates act as spotters for me and spaced armor and let them engage the enemy, and then I'll move to where I'm needed at a reasonable pace, because again, the M26 a bit underpowered for its size if you count it as a medium tank. Decent armor for a medium tank at 6.3. Once you get into 6, 7, 7, 7 matches, forget about it. But that is basically this tank in a nutshell. Diversity of weapons. You've got the 50 cal on top for your anti-air, which can come in really handy if you use it to its maximum effect. You have your 90mm American cannon, which performs just like all the other 90mm you'll see in the American tech tree, bleh, barring the extended gun you'll see on the... I forget what it's called. The Super Pershing has a super gun, and then there's also another M48, I think, with the long-barreled 90mm. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a premium vehicle as well. We're talking about this one. This tank is consistently fun for me, which is actually a surprise. And I get to use a playstyle that I haven't used in a while. I basically used my M47 playstyle with it, and it's been a while since I played the M47. Again, that's a fun tank, and that tank is meta. Good mobility. Again, decent armor for a medium tank. It'll protect you from things like artillery and close misses from large high explosive rounds. And not a whole lot else. Every now and then you get a lucky bounce, and the mantlet on this is actually reasonably tough if they don't hit the flat portions. And here you see we've noticed an enemy tank, and he is far too busy pressing W to win to notice us, engage at long range, get a nice hit into his engine, lining up the next shot. Can we make it? It's always nice when you score a hit at range with your first shot. This one dips just a bit lower than we need, but he's put out his engine fire, buying us a few seconds, and his return shot's way far off, and we take him down. 3 rounds to take down an enemy medium. Not the best, but when the first one takes out his engine, it's a good start. I get the feeling that I could really enjoy this tank. I'm also a bit too ADD to stick with it and get good, but I feel like this vehicle has earned a poor reputation for several reasons that were very valid when it first came out, even up until recently. However, a few fixes have been adjusted on this tank to make it a bit more survivable, one being that the rockets do not detonate anymore. So your rockets that are side mounted on your turret, even if the enemy blacks your ammo rack with a high explosive round or something, you won't die. And before, I would take this tank out and a near miss from artillery would turn my ammo racks yellow on the rockets and they would detonate and I would die. And while it was visually stimulating, it wasn't makings for a good time. So I avoided playing this tank for a while. Now, would I recommend that you buy this tank? As a collector, I say this is one of the treasures of my collection. It's a tank that costs a lot of golden eagles, but if you wait for a sale and you get a good deal on eagles, I was sitting on a pretty good pile of golden eagles and I bought this and the American Focke-Wulf, and the American Focke-Wulf is not so great because its elevator got nerfed pretty hard, and the flight model in AirRB is a bit odd in the sense that the mouse aim auto flight controls are all over the place. The thing wags its tail like a happy dog. So you really have to use a lot of keyboard controls to fly the Focke-Wulf, as I'm sure German pilots are well aware. But, I mean, we're talking the American team. We're used to getting bias machines constantly. P-47. However, it's not terrible. And it's especially good in mixed battles in Tank RB, because you can fly low to the ground and use your good top speed and energy retention to zoom climb up to enemy planes that are spawning in or that are coming down for ground targets. And not only are you very difficult to locate when you're close to the ground, but when you pop up on somebody like that and pop goes the weasel, you can tear out the bottom of their plane really fast with your 20 mils. But to get back to the M26T99, as I like to call it these days, Rocket Boy number 2, it's fun, it's a good collector's item. It's not really great. It's not good for grinding. You're much better going for the M47 or the other one. I can't remember the name of it right now. The American Premium that gets the long 90 mil. It's a good tank. It's a very good tank. This one, however, well, you get to do stuff like this. You get to try things that you just can't do in another tank. And that's one of the reasons I personally love this tank. It's an oddball. So I recommend the M26T99 to people that are looking for something unique. And this truly is a unique tank. It's different than the Sherman Calliope even, which is its older brother, and you're going to need to buy the Calliope to get to this one, which again, I recommend the Calliope for everything except grinding. But if you're looking for a grinder, here you go. So collectors, people that like oddball stuff, people just looking for a good time and a way to find a new way to play War Thunder, M26 is for you. M26T99 Mitze rockets. However, T29 is for all you pick boys that want to have the awesome KD and great rewards in your matches. It even has a low repair cost for a heavy tank, somewhere around 3,600 Silver Lions in Tank RB right now, which I found a bit strange considering how well it performs and how expensive some other vehicles are. P29. However, it is what it is. Gaijin seems to not want to destroy the playability of most of their premium vehicles, which makes sense to me. So the T29 is your choice if you're looking for something that will just dominate the battlefield. Now, it used to be a fairly unique vehicle, but not so much anymore, because of the T-34 Heavy in the American tree, which is just as fun to play and performs very closely to its premium cousin. Anyway, guys, that'll just about do it for today. I've got lots more stuff I'd love to work on. I've been busy. I gotta work hard for that premium cash to spend into the next update on War Thunder. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good time, and I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Anyway, guys, catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.